We just want to see if you have more jokes.
That wasn't a good job.
You get on a plane tomorrow?
No sir. I get on a plane next Monday, so the 29th. So I end up practicing, and then that evening I'll end up getting on a flight. So I know there was a thing going around. I was gonna be going for like 7 practices. I was just kind of confused about that because
So, and when do you come back?
I'll end up coming back the 3rd. So I'll be here. So really, it's only like one practice, like one real practice, and the Hall of Fame game. But going over there to support my wife, man, and the coaches, they're doing an amazing job. So they're going to make sure every meeting's recorded. So I'll be getting all the meetings, all the installs and everything. So I won't really miss a beat. So make sure I'm working out over there. So I'll make sure I come back and
You're gonna wake up at 2 a.m. and watch the game?
absolutely.
Did you ask, or did they offer this to you without you asking?
It was just something me and my agent talked about whenever we went in, and I signed with the team. That was just, obviously the Olympics coming up, and who my wife is. So that was just something that we, but it was all respectful. We went to him, and just asked, like, we really appreciate it if he can go and support his wife. So they're really cool about it, man. It's a first class organization. Like, I just want to thank them so much for even allowing me to go over and do that. So I can't wait to be able to support her, and I know my family, my wife, she really appreciates it. So
What is it like to watch her do things that no one else in the world can do?
it's amazing. Like, words can't even describe it. I just think about how did I get so lucky, that this is my wife and I get to see her, just someone that's literally at the pinnacle of their sport, and I get to call this my wife, So it's amazing. Like I said, it's no words to really describe. Just blessed.
Nerve wracking? Is it nerve wracking?
Absolutely. It's because you care, though. So anytime you get nervous is really like a good thing because you care. So obviously, I'm always. It's just such a tough sport, and she does things that no one else in the world can do. So, I'm always nervous, and praying for her safety, and just praying for a clear head that she can go out there and just continue to do what she does.
Have you seen her much the last few months with
Yeah. So whenever,
had her training?
so she trains actually in Houston. So they didn't leave to go to Paris until I think the 16th. So we were together pretty much the whole break. I was going to her competitions whenever I could, whenever I was here. So whenever our OTAs and everything ended that first week of June, we were back in Houston because her gym's not too far from our house. So, she was still training 6 days a week. So we were together.
How supportive have the guys at the locker room been with you going over to Paris?
Man, it's crazy, man. It's like everyone's a gymnastics fan now. They're asking, people asking me questions, just, man, because, you walk around the building and you might see a commercial with her up there. And, so it's just crazy, guys are asking me, like, how is that? And we just, there's a Netflix documentary out now where, we're both in there. So guys are just being super supportive, man. It's super dope. And, they're asking, like, bring some souvenirs back. That's what they're asking. Yeah, so.
Give you money for that? Or you just
Man, come on, man. They're my boys, man.
Is this your first time being able to see her in the Olympics?
Yes. So for the it was in 2021, but COVID was going on, so I was in training camp still, but I would just wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning before I had to go to practice, so that I can see her events and everything. So.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Seeing her, man. I haven't seen her in about 3 weeks now, so just seeing her and just. Obviously, I've never been over to Paris, so that's pretty cool to say that I've been able to go. But just seeing her, being able to see her do her thing, man, that's really what I'm happy for.
Do you have an appreciation for how she might feel watching your games when you go to watch her?
Oh, absolutely, because she, is the person you love most, man, and you see him out there in a position where someone could get hurt, and you care about it, so it's always super nerve wracking. Like, let's say I'm on the field and she see me hit somebody or take a hard hit or something, it's like a gasp of air. So I, equate that to even when she's on the floor and or the beam, I just know how hard you work for it and how much you put into it. So, when you see someone out there, man, it's just, I don't know, I can't describe it, man. I'm just out there holding my breath, man. Just, I'll have my little piece of paper, man, right there ready. So calculating everything. So, man, I can't wait.
You mentioned the Netflix documentary. What was it like being a part of that?
It was a pretty interesting experience because she's been used to the life where camera following you, sort of how Hard Knocks is, where they walk around with the mic and everything. But it's just getting introduced to a different life, and I love it because people get to see the human side of you. The you know, everyone sees social media and thinks, you know, that's how everything is in real life, or they see you on TV and everything. So I really love that, you know, you actually get to go into her life and, you know, how she thinks and a daily, you know, the daily life of, you know, how everything goes on. And so people just can't make assumptions on how you are or how someone acts. So you can actually get a insight on, you know, what you think, how I experience things or how I react to things, you know what I mean? So,
How do you feel like camp is going for you?
oh, pretty good. Just, you know, every day getting better, 1% better. That's the thing we try to say. Um, you know, learning a new scheme. You know, learning my teammates and everything, which, you know, the coaches and like I said, the team, everyone's been super welcoming. You know, they've made it a pretty easy transition. So, you know, working every day.
Looked like on social media, some people were actually kind of down on you for some comments made on a podcast that maybe got taken out of context. But what was that like for you going through that, like saying something on a podcast and it's blowing up and people are.
You know, at first it was kind of disappointing because you're just, you know, you're pouring your heart out to someone and just, you know, giving your opinions on how things happen in your life. And, you know, obviously she was in there, but I don't have any of my social media notifications on, man. So you got to stay off that stuff because people that try to tear you down, man, that's just, you know, the social media world. You know, everyone has a voice. So she's just taught me how to do it. You know, you just, you know, you have to stay off of there and just know people gonna talk about you, man, whether you're doing good or bad. Like that's just, you know, the reality of the profession that I'm in, the profession that she's in. So you just have to know how to, you know, tune out the noise, man, and just keep going. Because if you get into that stuff and you can allow it to affect your confidence, or I don't want to post anything because I'm afraid people are gonna. Man, I'm not gonna worry about that. You know, I'm living my dream, man. So regardless, like I'm happy, my wife's happy, man. So you know, we really don't get into that too much. So.
Jonathan, is she gonna live here during the season and be at games and stuff?
So she'll have a tour that she does right after the Olympics, but once her tour is done and she has, you know, a bunch of interviews and stuff she'll do. Obviously, we still have the house in Houston, but she'll be here as much as she can. So I'm pretty excited about that.
You made the full transition from Houston back to the Midwest and Green Bay now coming down to here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So I'm from St. Louis, man. So you know it's really pretty much like the same thing. The weather's the same. I'm a little bit closer to my family, which is pretty exciting. So they'll actually get a chance to be able to make some of the games, and it's like a 4-hour train ride from St. Louis to Chicago. So man, it's, you know, exciting, and they'll be able to come and support. So obviously, when my wife's not here, I'll still have family and, you know, people here to you know, I'll be able to see, and so I'm pretty excited about that.
Does that make you a Cardinal fan?
You know it, man. So that must make me a you know, I gotta be a White Sox fan too. You know.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
At this camp, to that solid rookie season you had?
I would say, you know, it's to the utmost level. It's always at the utmost level. It's never coming down, but it's definitely higher than last year. Just coming back out with the same guys, coming back out with the same scheme, and knowing that I know this scheme now and knowing my ability, so definitely a little bit more higher.
You played really well, especially second half. Your growth was obvious. What accounted for that, and how do you pick up and get even better this year, would you say?
I would say this team, just the guys on defense believing in me and pushing me, and the coaching staff believing in me and pushing me and just giving me the keys to really go out here and drive my car pretty much how I wanted to. So just looking forward to, you know, getting better this year, and just the guys believing in me pretty much.
What was important for you to work on in the offseason coming into your second year? How did you want to level up as coach asked you to?
I would say my knowledge of the game, understanding where the receivers at on the field, understanding that certain formations and certain players do certain things, and understanding that, you know, when you get a certain type of receiver, they only do certain type of routes. So I just worked my whole offseason on calling Coach Hoke and just asking him certain questions about this receiver, or if coach, if they motion here, how many possibilities could I get, and just going back and forth with him about it.
Jalen talked about it's great to have expectations and they're high, obviously for this defense, but he wants to see it actually play out and you guys get over that hump. When you hear that, like, what does that mean? How do you guys tangibly get better than where you were last season?
Just far as sticking to the goals, like he said, goals. So, you know, if the goal is interceptions, we have like a little thing between DBs who gonna catch the first pick, just to just to constantly see that, like go after the ball or punch the ball out, or if we go for a tackle, make sure we hit the ball. So just doing little things like that in practice so it translate over into the games.
You obviously didn't have Keenan Allen or Roma Dunze in camp last year. Does it feel different in the wide receiver group? Is it more competitive to you this year in these practices with those guys out there?
Yeah, definitely. These receivers bring out different problems. So just covering them, covering Rome, covering Keenan, covering DJ, covering Tyler, just gives you a different aspect of the game of what they bring to the table. So pretty much any receiver I see this year, I already done seen the best of the best in practice.
What's the difference between, like, if you could describe Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, the different challenges of going up against those guys?
I ain't gonna lie, Keenan a magician. Just the fact that he can stop mid route, change his whole route, or just the fact that he gives you something different than what you expecting. Like he might break inside, but he's just doing that just to see on the next play how he can get you on the route that's coming to him. DJ just gonna be DJ. DJ gonna run a route and you're not gonna stop it pretty much. So
Keenan is it like a mind game almost with him?
yeah, cause just watching him practice and watching how he plays, like even if he ain't getting the ball, he runs a whole different route or he does something different, not even let you know that route is there. So if you come back to it or they run that same play, you go to where you thought he was last time, and it's a whole different route.
What's the next evolution for you in your second season?
I would say I'm aiming for all pro. More interceptions, more tackles, more PBUs. Just want to elevate my game all around pretty much, and I know I'm capable of it.
How do you build off last year, the foundation you set? Obviously 4 picks, obviously learning moments as well from rookie. How do you take that next step?
Just study. Stay in the film room, work on my hands, work on my feet, just honestly understanding that every day is a grind. Every day I have to do something to get 1% better. Can't skip and say 2. So just use every day to get 1% better. If that's feet, do feet. If that's hands, do hands. If that's watching film, stay out there and watch extra film.
Going up against Rome, what has struck you about his ability, and what do you think he brings to this loaded group?
He's sneaky fast. Like off the line, you might not, you might not realize he's closing the cushion as fast, but once he on you. So just the fact that he's able to run the whip routes, he's able to break down and running digs, or if you let him, he'll run right by you. So just the fact that he's, he can pretty much do every route on the route tree.
Tyrique, Connor was talking the other day about not only the collective confidence of the secondary starters, but the trust that you guys have that everybody's going to handle their business. How do you describe kind of what that is right now, the cohesion that you guys feel as a group of 5?
All the guys want to win, and all the guys know we the best secondary in the nation. So just the fact that we come in and film and we check each other, or like after practice, like I ain't like that. Could you help me here? Just knowing that certain coverages we might need help, like cover 4s, I gotta help the safety. I gotta take some weight off the safety. Or cover 2, I have to take care of number 1. So just knowing that we go into these meeting rooms and we really get on each other, not harsh, but just let each other know that this is what I need you to do so I can play confidence, and it's just a vice versa thing.
Charles Tillman's been at a couple practices. I've seen him talking to you. What's that been like working with him? Were you a big fan of his when he played, and like what type of advice has he given you? Would you say?
He's just giving me be a dog. Every time you step out on the field, just play your game. If your game is press coverage. If your game is off man. Whatever your game is, use it to the best of your ability. Because at the end of the day, it's a team sport. You're not the only guy on the field. So if you can use your ability and turn that into a superpower, and all the other guys turn theirs into a superpower, then we got one unstoppable defense.
Do you want to return punts?
Yes.
How's that been going?
It's been going all right. I had some hiccups today, but definitely, I'm not up on the list. We got other fast guys, but definitely just want to be back there. If my number is ever called, just know I'm a house one.
Tyrique, you learned some hard lessons last year as part of the process of getting the arrow pointing up at the end. I know they say you have to have a short memory, but in reality, how difficult was that to kind of get through that? And do you think that those moments actually made you better, and if so, how?
I definitely agree. It definitely made me better. It was a hard pill to swallow coming from being one of the dominant corners in college and just coming here and giving up passes, giving up deep, but giving up stuff that I normally do not give up. So it was a hard pill to swallow, and just looking back on it, I just take those examples and teach myself not to do those examples and teach myself to be in a better position, use my hands, use my feet, look at the quarterback, read 3 steps. So just taking those and just stacking them and learning them and just keep pushing forward.
So are there things like that happened last year that you just know that they either weren't happening at the end of the year or just won't, you just be from your knowledge, of the game, you know, won't happen this year? You know, where's the improvement, I guess? Where do you feel like, where are the plays that you gave up last year that you won't this year? What kind of things are?
I ain't gonna lie, we can say it all day. I'm a bit critical myself, but I would say, far as like just some I would say, you know, just to your point, tackling, just coming with a certain leverage. I know some plays I missed some tackles. I take Cleveland game, you know, Njoku on the over route. If I were to tackle him, it would have been, you know, we put the defense in a better spot. Just the fact that I missed that tackle put us in a worse spot. So just tackling, making sure I come with the right leverage, making sure I use the hamstring drills that we're using out there, and just tackle the best way I can.
Tyrique, we haven't talked to you since Caleb's got here. What struck you about him both on the field and in the locker room?
He's a team guy. You know, he's happy to be here. He's happy to be the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He want to lead this team to win. You know, I didn't know him personally. I worked out with some of the guys that went to USC over the summer, and they were just telling me that he's a great guy, but I didn't know him personally until he got here. And just from when he got here, day one, he's been the same person. On the field, off the field, and just seeing him, you know, come out here every day with a smile, even though he got a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and just seeing him want to come out here and be the best quarterback the Chicago Bears had.
Tyrique, Jalen obviously got the big contract over the offseason. How have you seen him respond to that new deal?
No way, really. He's still Jalen. Like, at the end of the day, he still want to go work. He still work with his brother. He still want to become the best corner in the league. So I don't think the deal interpreted it or messed up anything about Jalen, because Jalen still do Jalen things.
Tyrique, how much did taking the ball away last year boost your confidence? You were already doing the fundamental things that started going. When the ball started coming your way, how much did that help you?
It boosted a lot. It just made me feel like I belong here. You know, didn't have that many in college. So just the fact that I came out and got 4 in 1 year just let me know that, you know, I could be one of the elite DBs in this league, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Some of your coach, Stephen, was talking about developing leaders. What kind of leadership do you bring to that tight end group?
Well, for one, playoff experience. I still consider myself young, even though I'm 30 years old, going into year 8. But we have Mercedes in the room, but find myself in the middle of the group, so we can all learn from each other. I mean, I don't think that I'm too good to learn, or I can't learn from anybody, or can't teach anybody. I think we all have that good characteristic. We're all still students of the game, so I think it'll really translate well for us.
What was most appealing for you coming to the Bears?
The potential. I would say the potential for sure. And also what they were trying to do in turning this thing around.
Learn Shane Waldron's offense. What are the ways in which you think you can be a playmaker in the offense?
Same way as I've been before, just being interchangeable with the receivers and the tight ends and even the running back. I mean, I don't think there's many tight ends that's doing jet sweeps or catching screens. So hopefully to implement that as well as I did any other year that I've been in the league. So I think it'll be progressive this year.
You mentioned that you're 30, but yet in your own room and tight end, you have a guy
Right.
that's been in the league for like more than a decade.
Right,
more than you.
right.
What's it been like working with Mercedes?
Well, it's kind of too soon to say, but I met him my rookie year when he was playing in Jacksonville after I scored my first touchdown. And I just chopping it up with him. I kind of got some wisdom from him then, but to be playing with him now, we're going to have a fun year. And just off the field stuff up to this point is what we've talked about. But obviously the guy's played almost 20 years, so I'll definitely be picking his brain.
Can you imagine playing in the NFL at 40?
I can imagine it. I don't know if I'll do it, but I can imagine it. Yeah.
Now that you've had some practices in, can you start to see what, if you and Cole, Keenan and DJ are all on the field together, the types of things you can do to defenses?
It's scary. It's scary. I'm sure you guys have seen it. But even today, we gave the defense something to look at, something they probably weren't ready for. But like I said, being interchangeable, even with DJ and Keenan and the guys in the receiving room, we're going to want to play all the spots. So whether it be right direction or left direction, we're all going to be flying up and down the field.
What are your early impressions of Caleb and how he's handling everything?
He's a complete pro. I mean, from college to now, just being able to see him from afar. Obviously, we both played in LA last year, but him at the amateur level, me at the professional. I kind of caught a few of his games, not knowing that he'd be my quarterback this season, but I can't say enough about him. He's a great guy and an even better football player, so we'll see.
Surround him with veterans, whether it's you, whether it's Keenan, Swift comes in.
Right.
That's a pretty unique situation for a rookie, isn't it?
For sure. I don't think it's ever happened in the NFL, a guy coming into a situation like that, being number one overall, but I think he's going to take it and he's going to roll with the punches, and it'll be a great year for us.
Gerald, do you have a sense of what kind of leader Caleb's going to be both on the field and in the locker room yet?
I have a sense of it. Can't put my finger on it just yet, but he's very vocal, and as he's still coming into his own, as an NFL quarterback in his rookie year, but he's not shying away from it. You can tell he's building his confidence day by day.
Can you tell, is it hard to tell when a quarterback has, I guess, what they call the it factor?
Yeah.
Do you see that? And I mean, if you don't,
course.
you don't. But I mean, with a guy like Caleb, it's a big part of his game.
Of course.
Can you see indications of that? Is that evident?
For sure. He definitely has that it factor as a dual threat quarterback. He's not afraid to run, and he's definitely got the arm strength. So he's shown that from OTAs to now, even while he was trying to grasp the playbook. So to see his confidence build day in and day out is a sight to see.
When he does take off and look downfield, what are you learning about him in terms of how you need to get open, beyond just kind of your basic scramble drills?
Well, I learned that from him last year, just catching a few of his games at SC, just keeping the play alive and keeping his eyes downfield. He's got great poise, and his pocket presence is phenomenal, and I don't see why it wouldn't translate to this level.
That's something that's difficult for a lot of quarterbacks to do, is to still think pass even when they're running away there.
For sure, some guys have it naturally, some guys have to be coached it, but Caleb seems like he naturally has it. So I think him being coached by Shane and Kerry, I don't see why he couldn't keep going further and further.
You were in Hard Knocks with the Rams, I think.
I was, yeah.
How does this experience compare to that?
Well, obviously a little more media coverage, but we're just gonna stay focused on the game plans and getting through camp, staying healthy, and looking forward to week 1.
What is the actual workplace experience for you when everything's being filmed and recorded?
I don't really think about it. I mean, I think me being in LA predominantly most of my career, I've kind of grown accustomed to it. Just being in Hollywood, being around certain people, and I've kind of just grown to not think about it as much as I used to my rookie year, like you mentioned.
Defense is pretty loud,
Right.
and it seems like they've gotten the better of you in some of these team periods.
Yeah.
Is there any excitement or expectation, or just like, hey, let's get this thing going so we can kind of chirp back at them a little bit more?
Oh, of course. I'm extremely competitive, and given the players that we have now, I think that the defense will be a little bit less loud. So today, I didn't hear them as much, but we'll see as camp kind of progresses. We'll see if they stay loud. We'll see.